Say hello. Good morning. It's Hermie Health Date today, every Friday in the morning before I get out to work. It's Health Date with Hermie, and today we're going to talk about protein alternatives. So, if you are like me and cannot process protein, like animal meats, I'm not going to eat you, my bubby. No, I'm not going to eat you. No, but you can eat other food. If you have trouble processing protein, like I do, I have a lot of trouble processing meat, and so I have to avoid red meat, most red meat. And I can have protein in little bits and pieces, of course, but then it upsets my tummy. And some people, they don't like to eat a lot of protein, or they can't eat a lot of protein. And also, of course, dairy, which is a very popular protein, upsets a lot of people's, not only their tummy, of course, because they might be lactose intolerant, but it acts as a mucus enhancer. Now, this is the worst thing that we can do as speakers, is having more mucus on our vocal folds. So what happens when you try to speak first thing in the morning and you haven't warmed up, or you've had your coffee and that's all you've done? You're going to be going for the first 10-15 minutes of when you're speaking. You don't want to be doing that on stage. So dairy is not a good option for before a performance or before a stage presentation of some sort. So we're going to avoid dairy because of its mucus enhancing properties. Now, some people might say, but I'm not allergic to dairy and I don't have any lactose intolerance or allergies or anything like that. And that's fine. But the bottom line is that any sort of dairy products, cottage cheese, milk, ice cream, of course, even milk in coffee, can really make more mucus on your vocal folds and in your system, and you do not want that before a performance. You want to avoid it at all costs. So here are some great, really easy alternatives for you. So what I do is I boil about 4 eggs at a time. Really, really easy. I learned how to boil an egg very early in life because it's a protein-packed punch right here. If you have a little egg like this, it's pretty low in calories. It's only, I think, 89 calories per egg. And it's a long-burning, slow-burning protein, and it's going to last you for an hour or two. That tiny little egg, all you need is one as a snack. It's fantastic. Do you want to go back, Bobby? And this, mister, it's really funny. Birds like eggs. It's very weird. But I just take off a little bit of the egg white, don't I? And you love the egg white. So that's protein number 1. That is an absolute easy snack. I have also made hummus, homemade hummus. Now, most people will use this for hummus, which is great. You just put it in a blender with some lemon juice, and I'll do that for you another day. But what I found to really up the protein content, because sometimes chickpeas can be a little bit rich for some people, this little mix mixed in with the chickpeas and make your hummus with bean, and then it's a high protein snack. So then if you have, say, carrot sticks or celery sticks or zucchini sticks, anything that you find easy to digest, dip it in a little bit of the bean mix, the protein punch bean mix, which is now your hummus tasting thing. It's the easiest snack as well before you speak. You don't want to have a heavy stomach, and you don't want to be creating mucus on your vocal folds. I find that works really, really well for me. Also, if you have a slice of turkey, normally I don't buy packaged turkey like this because it does have other ingredients in it, like starch, acidity regulators, stabilizers. I'm not really too into any of that, but I was in a hurry and I actually bought this instead. Normally I would cook a chicken or cook a turkey and then chop it all up, put it into 100-gram bags and stick it in the freezer. And then that way you can just defrost it, stick it in the pan and heat it up anytime you want in bite-sized portions, which is fantastic. And then just with that and maybe a little bit of lettuce or a tomato or something that's a vegetable, or a starch if you like. I don't eat a lot of starches. That's a really, really easy protein pack punch. Now, people keep asking me also about shakes, because you see a lot of people walking around with their shakes, right? So this is a protein shake. You want to get up, Bobby? Yes, you do. He doesn't like it when I'm on camera because he wants to be the star. Yes, you do, don't you? You like it when Mummy sings to you. So people who eat shakes, they a lot of the time have whey protein in them. Now, even though the whey has been separated from the curds, it's still dairy, guys. It's still dairy. And for me, I know, being a little bit intolerant of dairy and having allergy and asthma symptoms, any type of dairy, even if it's extracted dairy like whey protein powder, still makes mucus on my vocal folds. It's very annoying. So I cannot have any sort of protein. Don't eat mummy sequins. No. I can't have a protein powder that has dairy in it. So I have to look for dairy-free protein, which is actually quite easy to find in the health food store. Pea protein is fantastic. Doesn't taste like anything. And so is this. This is my favorite. Hemp protein. It's high in fiber. It's a superfood, and it's all organic, and it's got no additives whatsoever, which means that it doesn't taste like anything either. It's a bit grainy, that's all. See that? Which means all you have to do is put a scoop inside your drink, and I use almond milk or oat milk. Some people can tolerate oat milk, almond milk, or rice milk is a good one. So any of your milk alternatives, put a little bit in there, or even water, and then maybe some blueberries for your superpower, some kale to give you some greens, and then I add a little bit of spirulina to give me some energy, and then with the hemp protein, put that in the shake. That's a power-packed punch with absolute no dairy. So that will not affect your vocal folds. But what I highly recommend is don't go and have all these things and then go out and do a really big presentation. Test them a week before. Test them during a rehearsal. Test them during a camera performance that you're practicing with. All right, Bubby. But don't test them on stage in a really important event, because you've got other things to deal with, like nerves and lights and camera and sound and feedback and microphone. You've got too many things to think about. You don't want to be doing that. So test it a week before during rehearsals, and then take notes of if any of these things cause you issues. Are you clearing your throat within 1 hour of eating beans or 1 hour of eating turkey? Of course you're going to be clearing your throat after you have coffee or tea, because it's not only a diuretic, it's going to dry out your system, but it's usually got dairy and caffeine in it, which is a drier. So hope that helped today. So again, eggs, great protein. Your beans and your chickpeas combined, that's what I do, and I make a little hummus out of it. Turkey, have the pure stuff, like just buy a turkey or a piece of chicken or a whole chicken and then cook it yourself. And then of course your dairy-free protein shakes. So hope that helped today. I'd love to hear your comments below. What works for you? What doesn't work for you? If you've got any questions, just let me know. And if you've got any birdie tips, if you're a bird lover like me, then I'd love to hear from you. Nice to see you, Bree. Thank you. Yes, testing before your big day is a really, really big one. So say bye-bye. This is Hemi. Say bye-bye. He's mute. He doesn't say goodbye. All right. So have a wonderful day, guys. And I'll see you next time. Bye.